And get ready, because today we are going to be talking all about cheese.
All about cheese.
I am so excited about this.
Me too.
So let's just jump right in. We are going to explore cheese from its very, very beginnings, like way back in time. And we're going to trace its journey through history to see how it ended up on so many tables around the world.
Yeah, because, like, who doesn't love a little bit of cheese, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like it melted or you like it, on a cracker with some grapes or, whatever your preference is, there's a cheese out there for everyone.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the coolest things about cheese is that it's so diverse, right? There's so many different varieties.
Yes.
And, I think that's what makes this topic so fascinating.
Absolutely.
So let's start by going back in time, like way, way back to the Neolithic period.
Okay.
About 8,000 BCE.
Okay.
Now, this is when we start to see humans settling down. They're starting to farm, and they're starting to domesticate animals, like sheep and goats. And, of course, these animals provide milk,
Yeah.
which is a valuable source of nutrition. But it also presents a problem because milk, it spoils quickly, especially in warm climates.
Yes, especially back then when they didn't have refrigeration.
Oh, yeah. No refrigeration, no pasteurization, none of that stuff.
Nope.
So what do they do?
Well, that's where the magic happens, really. It was likely a complete accident.
Right.
The story goes that early farmers were storing their milk in containers.
Okay.
And these could have been made out of anything from animal stomachs to, woven baskets lined with clay, whatever they had available.
Makes sense.
And the warm temperatures combined with the natural enzymes that were present in these containers would have caused the milk to separate into curds and whey.
Okay, so the curds are...
The curds are the solid part.
Okay.
And the whey is the liquid.
Gotcha.
And ta-da, you have the very, very early stages of cheese.
So cheese was like a happy accident.
Yeah, a happy accident.
Wow, that's so cool.
It is. It's a testament to human ingenuity and also just sometimes just like a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck, right place, right time.
Totally.
That's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
So they have these curds. They've accidentally stumbled upon this process of cheese making.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next?
Well, they probably tasted it.
Okay.
They were probably a little curious and realized, hey, this is actually
Not bad.
not bad, right? And not only that, but it also lasted much longer than fresh milk.
Right, because that was their big problem.
Exactly.
Milk spoils too quickly. Got to find a way to make it last longer.
And cheese was the answer.
So this accidental discovery was huge.
Huge. It was a game changer.
And we actually have evidence of this, right?
We do. Archaeologists have found some pretty amazing things. They found these pottery fragments in Turkey that date back about 7,000 years.
Wow.
And guess what they found on them?
Cheese remnants.
Cheese remnants and traces of butter fat.
Oh, wow. So they were making butter, too.
They were making butter too early. Humans were busy in the kitchen.
That's incredible. So they weren't just making cheese. They were experimenting with dairy in all sorts of ways.
It seems so.
It seems so. Wow. Okay, so we have this evidence. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And, this discovery, it wasn't just limited to one place, right?
No, not at all.
Cheese making seems to have popped up independently in different parts of the world.
Exactly.
Which is incredible.
It really is, because you think about it, like there was no internet back then.
Right.
There was no, recipe sharing sites, no cookbooks, no communication between continents.
Yeah.
Yet somehow people all over the world figured out how to make cheese.
That's wild.
It really is.
Okay, so we've got cheese making happening all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
How does it spread?
Well, as society started to develop and trade routes were established, cheese became a valuable commodity.
Okay.
It was a way to preserve a valuable food source,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be transported over long distances.
Makes sense.
So we start to see cheese being traded all over the ancient world.
That's fascinating. And I imagine as it's being traded and people from different cultures are interacting,
Right.
they're probably sharing their techniques and their recipes.
Absolutely.
And that's probably how we start to see these regional variations emerge.
Exactly, because different regions had different climates.
Right.
Different animals.
Different milk.
Different milk.
Different traditions.
And that's what makes cheese so interesting, right?
It is.
It's like a reflection of the culture
That
the
is.
land it comes from.
So, for example, like in Mongolia,
Yes.
they have these nomadic herders,
Right.
and they made a cheese called biaslag
Biaslag.
from yak milk.
Yak milk.
Right. Very different from the cow's milk cheeses
Yes.
that we might be more familiar with in Europe.
Absolutely. And then you have, in ancient Egypt,
Yeah.
they were making a type of soft cheese,
Cubby?
similar to cottage cheese,
Okay.
from goat's milk.
Oh, wow.
And in South Asia, paneer became a staple.
Right.
made from cow's milk.
Okay.
So you see all of these different cultures all over the world coming up with their own unique cheese traditions.
I love that. And it just shows how adaptable cheese making is.
Yeah.
Right? You can use whatever milk is available.
Right.
Whatever climate you're in.
And whatever techniques have been passed down through generations.
Exactly.
It's really quite remarkable.
Okay, so we've got cheese spreading around the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a trade commodity. It's evolving.
Yes.
Where do we go from here?
Let's fast forward a bit to the Roman Empire.
Okay.
Now, the Romans, they loved cheese.
They love cheese.
They loved cheese. It was a staple food for them, especially for their soldiers.
Okay.
Roman soldiers would carry rations of hard, dry cheese with them on their campaigns.
So it was like their energy bar.
It was their energy bar. It was tacked with protein and fat.
Right.
It was durable, it could travel well, and it provided them with much-needed sustenance.
So cheese was helping them conquer the world.
In a way, you could say that, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So after the Roman Empire falls, we enter the medieval period.
That's right.
And this is where things get really interesting in the world of cheese.
It is, because during this time, monasteries played a crucial role in the development of cheesemaking.
Okay.
Monks had the time, the resources, and the knowledge to really experiment and refine cheesemaking techniques.
Yeah.
And they were meticulous record keepers.
Oh, wow.
So they documented their processes and their recipes.
So they were like the original cheese scientists.
You could say that, yes, they were the pioneers of cheesemaking.
I love that.
And many of the iconic cheeses that we know and love today can be traced back to these medieval monasteries.
Really? Like what, for example?
Well, you have Parmesan from Italy, Roquefort.
Right, the blue cheese.
From France.
Yep.
Munster Munster.
Okay.
And Swiss cheese from Switzerland. These are just a few examples.
Wow.
But they all have their roots
in monasteries.
In these medieval monasteries.
That's incredible. So they were experimenting with different techniques.
Yes.
Different aging processes.
Yes, different milks, different molds.
Different mold.
Like the famous blue mold.
Right.
That gives Roquefort its distinctive flavor.
And that was a huge discovery.
It was a game changer in the world of cheese.
Because it introduced
a whole new dimension of flavor and complexity.
And it shows that they weren't afraid to experiment.
No, they were true innovators.
They were, okay, so we've got monks making cheese. We've got all these incredible varieties developing. What happens next?
Well, let's jump ahead a few more centuries to the Industrial Revolution.
Right.
Now, this is when things really start to change on a large scale.
Okay.
The Industrial Revolution brought about mechanization.
Right.
And mass production.
So cheesemaking is no longer just this small-scale artisanal thing.
Right, it becomes a big business. And with new technologies and factories, cheese production increased dramatically.
Okay.
And this meant that cheese became more accessible and affordable for more people.
So it's no longer just a luxury good.
Exactly. It becomes a staple food.
That's fascinating. And it's kind of a turning point, right?
It is.
Because it marks the shift.
From traditional cheesemaking to modern industrial production.
Yeah.
But it's important to note that even today, with all of these advancements in technology and mass production, artisanal cheesemaking
is still alive and well.
It's thriving in many parts of the world.
Yeah.
People are rediscovering the value
of traditional methods.
Of small batch production, of unique flavors.
And that connection to the past.
Exactly. So while we have these big factories churning out cheese, we also have these small cheesemakers who are keeping those age-old traditions alive.
And I think that's what makes cheese so special, right?
It does.
It's this blend of history.
Of tradition.
Of innovation.
Of science. Of art.
And, of course, deliciousness.
It's all wrapped up in this one incredible food.
It really is. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our love for good food.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive.
I agree.
Into the world of cheese. From its humble beginnings as an accidental discovery. To its role as a staple food for ancient civilizations. To the artistry of the monks. To the mass production of the Industrial Revolution. And the continued dedication of artisanal cheesemakers.
It's been quite a journey.
It has been an incredible journey. And I think next time I have a piece of cheese, I'm going to think about all of the people.
All the hands.
All the hands.
That touched it.
All the stories.
All the stories.
That have gone into creating this
amazing food.
This amazing food.
And maybe appreciate it just a little bit more.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe we'll even be inspired to try making our own cheese someday.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It is a thought.
For another time.
For another time.
All right, well, thanks for joining me on this cheesy adventure.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Happy cheese eating, everyone.
What period saw the likely accidental discovery of cheese? Early farmers stored milk in containers made of what? What are the two components milk separates into during cheese making? Where were pottery fragments with cheese remnants found? Besides cheese, what other dairy product did early humans likely make? Who played a crucial role in developing cheesemaking during the medieval period? Which famous blue cheese is mentioned in the text? What historical event led to mass cheese production? What type of cheese was a staple for Roman soldiers? What makes cheese so special, according to the speakers?